Hello everybody, this is Squibby, and in today's short video, I'll be going over everything you might have missed from the earlier Dead by Daylight developer stream. We've had tons of new changes announced today. Everything from the Grimoire to the Trickster to the UI is getting some major changes, so let's get right into it. Starting off strong with the new PTB coming out this Tuesday, featuring the Trickster's update, not rework, as described by the devs. It's also going to feature the new Korean indoor and outdoor style map. In addition to this new content, perk descriptions are going to be rewritten to look more concise and to hide what status effects do in a separate menu. This is a change I have been wanting for a very long time, as one of the most complicated things about Dead by Daylight is the sheer amount of perks and descriptions and status effects that you need to memorize in this game in order to become a very high level player. These new perk descriptions are also going to feature a keybind specific description. Instead of saying active ability 1 or active ability 2, it's now going to show what keybind you have bound to that. Next up, we have auras, which are now becoming color customizable. First off, all killer items are going to be changed to white. So this means when a killer like the Huntress needs to go reload her hatchets, they are going to appear as a white aura and not yellow. But the major part of this change is that you will now be able to customize the colors of any specific auras. Next up, we have killer actions, the terminology of which is going to be split in half. Instead of a basic break, vault, or generator damage, they're now going to be split up into basic and special versions of those actions. Overall, this is probably going to be a good change because I know the developers were talking a lot about unifying the language in the game across the board. And now that they've done that with all the perks, it makes sense that they would also want to do it for killer actions. Next up, we have fog vials, which are getting yet another change. They're now becoming impossible to see through if you're standing outside of them. But once you're on the inside, you just have limited visibility. In addition to this, survivors can now continue to see any auras while inside of fog vials, and killers cannot. Next up, we have the Trickster's update, which is going to be playable on the PTB coming out this Tuesday, February 24th. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about his update because we will be playing him live on the PTB on Tuesday afternoon. But basically, his power now relies on a combo / leveling up / tier system. Honestly, this new style doesn't really appeal to me too much, but I know a lot of players are going to have fun with this new update. And last but not least, we have the changes and updates to the Grimoire, which is the first original chapter that the community gets to help curate with the developers. We got a bit of a sneak peek into bits of the killer's power, the first of which being that the killer gets to send survivors into some kind of exile area. And I'm assuming they're going to do this similar to how Pyramid Head is able to send survivors into a cage instead of hooking them. And in this area, the survivor is basically going to be running around and completing some kind of objective while they are on the hook at the same time. We also got a peek at the killer's M2, which honestly kind of looks a little bit similar to Vecna 2's M2, because it's essentially looking like it's going to be a circular radius that will affect any survivors that are within it. But the main difference is that it's going to be an orbital beam that can actually affect multiple floors of a map at once. And the way the killer controls this orbital beam is by sending it out and then kind of swaying it side to side. So not direct control like with Vecna 2, but similar enough. We also got this teaser of the killer's model art and this teaser of the survivor's model art. And I'm going to get a bit controversial here, but big ups to the community for not voting for the typical hot female survivor that they created. I'm actually very proud that we're going in the direction of a more character-based character and not a looks-based character. Other than that, there's going to be another vote on February 27th for all things Grimoire. And there you have it. Those are all the major changes from the developer stream earlier, which was 2 hours. It was quite a long stream, and there were quite a few technical hiccups that they had. But either way, they got the message out. We all know what's going on. And I personally am super excited, not only for the PTB, but honestly, all of these changes. And that does it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. We are going to be live later today to do some more 2v8 killer duos, and again on Tuesday for the new PTB. And as I've mentioned in previous videos and live streams, we will be hosting a competitive Dead by Daylight tournament. The grand prize of the tournament is going to be the biggest Oryx cell pack, which I think is still 12,500 Oryx cells. And we're going to be hosting this tournament once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you sub to help us reach that goal. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you later.